Recruiter here to review your resumes, and the resume we have up first is a success. This is a embedded software engineer intern, and this person said, thanks for reviewing this resume. Thank you for submitting it. I am applying for embedded systems and software engineer roles. I started to apply in January 2026, and in the beginning, I had a different resume where I got 3 interviews and 100 applications, which is solid. Your goal should be 1 interview per 50 applications at a minimum. So the previous resume was getting 1 for every 33 applications, so that's good. Also, I do more than tech resumes. I do retail, recruitment, accounting, and everything else, but the tech market is in the dumps. It is absolutely in the dumpster and is completely cooked, so like 90% of the resumes that are sent to me are tech. So this was getting a 1 in 33, and then they changed it, implementing my suggestions, with got them a 1 interview per 14 rate. So it doubled its success, or more than that. Y'all can math it out. But previously 1 to 33, now 1 in 14, which is pretty good, and they're international. Let's see. I just want to see if it's 100% implemented, as I might use it when I'm starting for other types of roles. So yeah, this is a successful resume. I should see everything I need. I'm going to be extra picky on it, but a 1 in 14 does pass. So what do we need for an embedded software engineer intern? We need Python, C, C++, Linux, RTOS, education, MS Office suites, the ability to work well with others, and you take direction and criticism. The ability to take direction and criticism and work with others is a intern-specific one. Almost every single intern needs that. It's like universal across internships, is that if you have all the tech but you don't show that you can work well with others or take direction and criticism, you will fail. Also, again, I did not say leadership, I said take direction. So recruiters only have, and hiring managers by proxy, 20 seconds to find what we need in a resume. Also, this is my name. This is my format that they used. You can find it in the link below. This is how to do it. So yeah, let's see if I can find what I need in 20 seconds, which I should be able to. And go. Okay, formatting good. Hard to literate driving RC cross-functional team. Perfect. Develop C+ framework in Python with real time, whatever that is. Perfect. Debug, manage projects with Excel and GitHub. Okay, let a cross-functional team develop car, implementing feedback. Okay. I don't know if I need to go further, actually see everything I need. Yeah, so again, this passes. This is a great resume. I found everything I needed, and because they used my format, I was able to get all the way down to here in the 20 seconds, which is about how much time you're going to be able to. Some managers, if you get an interview, will look more than this, which is fine, but you're probably, at best case, never going to have more than what's on this page. Yes, they have another 2 pages. That's fine. Probably not going to go to it. So this was a success. It does work. Let me be extra picky and see what we can do to fix it. 1, I have been lying to you, and I've been giving you incorrect information, and I'm sorry for that. My template on my website, the one that you can just fill in, is slightly incorrect. There is a space or 2 up here that should not be there. So this should be about 1 space higher, and I'm sorry for that. It may take me a little bit to fix it. So, I'm sorry. Then, what we need to do here is there should be an extra space here. And there should be, this one is fine. There should be no spaces there. But there should be an extra space here. And then we get down to here, and are these good bullet points? Yes, they are. But again, you don't want to use these, I don't know what it is, why, you have 2 different types of bullet points. This one is correct, this one is not. So please fix the bullet points and make them this, 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 and this. That's the only thing you really need to do on that. And onto the bullet points themselves, pretty good. I don't know if they need to be this wordy, though. I'm fairly certain you can combine these 2 bullet points. I'd rather you say something like, led the hardware development of a C and C++ car motors. So let me rephrase this. Led the hardware development of an autonomous driving car. Let's see. Led the hardware development. This is too much. Led the development, right? I don't know if it really matters that you say hardware, of a And then is LIDAR something that's needed? You already mentioned it at other places. I did not see that as a requirement, maybe in your very specific niche, but I don't think that's what we need. So led the development of a autonomous RC car using, and then you can put this stuff. So using C, C++ firmware, and Python. Python and do you have RTOS? If you can, put in RTOS for to use within a cross-functional team in which, and then you keep the rest of it. So again, I think you could combine these two sentences. And then here, again, I don't know if there's a ton of stuff they're looking for in this one. I would go back and double check. It's not terrible because it does at least do more hardware implementation and stuff, but this sentence might just have a bunch of hot dogs, which I will explain later. And then this one I love. I don't have any complaints about the third one. And yeah, I like this. This shows that you can take direction and criticism, and you can work well with others. Again, typically you don't want leadership experience. Not that you don't want leadership experience, but leadership is not really the best. In fact, if anything, I think I'd rather, instead of you saying led, I'd rather you say worked with a cross-functional team of 6 engineers rather than necessarily led. Because again, we're not really looking for you to lead. We're looking to you for just to work together. So I think if you just change this to worked with an X amount of people, then you'd be good. But overall, again, success. And even with these small tweaks, it'll probably go from a 1 in 14 to maybe a 1 in 12 to a 1 in 11. There's only so much lower you can go. But overall, this is a very good resume. You just need to make those tweaks of combine these, add some more relevant stuff here. Actually, if anything, I think this should be your second bullet point. And then say worked instead of led, right? This way it shows that you were able to work as a team and you were not the boss, because you were not going to be the boss as an intern. So that's all I can do for this resume, which was a pass. It was good. I'm just being hypercritical because that is what they want me to do. And if anybody else ever needs their resume reviewed, you can hop on when I'm live streaming every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on both YouTube and twitch.tv/@headlessheadhunter. And to all of my members who get access to videos a little bit early, thank you very much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. If you want to join, you can join in the link below. Thank you for your support, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a full-stack software developer. So this is the most common resume that is sent to me. The second most common, I think, is data analyst. So what do we need for a full-stack dev? We need degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. If you don't have TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS in the first sentence, you are probably going to get rejected. It does not matter how basic it is. It does not matter that everybody has it. Quotation marks, because that's not true. It doesn't matter that X means Y or that TypeScript means X. It matters that you have it because every single job description is asking for it. And if every single job description is asking for it and it's not on your resume, well, cool. You're going to get rejected. So TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. RESTful API or REST API, SQL, any cloud, any of those, backend, Python, C#, .NET, Java, React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, Git, extra credit, large-scale AI tools, and cross-functional. So those are what we need. And let's see if we can find those. Probably not, because again, this person just said, tell me how to optimize my resume. I've tried a lot of ways of doing it, but I failed. So I'm not expecting to find what I need. So also, this person is in India. I have gotten people jobs in the United States, India, Canada, Mexico, Africa, EU, most places in the EU, not like a lot of places, like and the UK. So, and I think Singapore as well. So my advice works internationally. Saying that, there is going to be some slight differences that I may not catch. Maybe 1 or 2 keywords are going to be different. Like in the UK, Java is more popular than Python, but it should be good enough to get you a job. So it should be enough to get you at least a 1 in 10 or 1 in 15. And when US people use my advice, they get a 1 in 7. So 20 seconds on the clock. Also, India, I think, is very similar to the US in how they hire. And go. Okay, this doesn't count. Where's your education? This doesn't count. Education is at the bottom. Okay. Architected and shipped a no-code platform in React and Node. Okay, that's mostly hot dogs. Mostly hot dogs. Build, design, a modeler with dancing API. Okay, hot dog. And time. Cool. I saw nothing I needed here. There was absolutely nothing I could use to move forward. So, the first resume was fantastic. This is garbage. Let me explain why, because I imagine you're already enraged based on this, but there is a reason. So, the very first thing is there are too many hot dogs in this. I want you to imagine that you are hungry, and you go to a restaurant, and you ask for a cheeseburger with pickles. And the waiter says, okay, cool, I'll get you a cheeseburger with pickles. So they go back to the kitchen, and they bring you back a hot dog with cheese and pickles. And you look at them, you're like, excuse me, I wanted a cheeseburger, not a hot dog. And they will say, no, you wanted this because a hot dog has meat like a hamburger, a hot dog has cheese. A hot dog can have cheese like a hamburger. A hot dog has buns like a hamburger, and a hot dog can have pickles. So when you wanted a cheeseburger, what you actually meant was this hot dog. You would look at them like they were crazy, and you would walk away without paying. And that is the exact problem here. Architected and shipped a no-code workflow automation platform using React, Flow, and Node.js. React, Flow, and Node.js. Actually, no, let me clarify. Node.js, I am looking for. React, Flow, probably not. But everything else is a hot dog. Enabling non-technical users to independently configure and manage blah, 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 blah. 87, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. Is that on this list? No. If it's not on this list, it doesn't matter. Now, the second thing is you're like, well, hold on, Lee. Every single thing you found was here. Look at this. This is the Java. This is the TypeScript. This is the blah, blah, blah. No, this doesn't count. And this is why it doesn't count, is recruiters are not keyword hunting. Despite what people think, we are qualification hunting, not keyword hunting. And the difference is a qualification is a keyword, like this is what the hiring team needs, plus how you used it, plus the non-technical reasons you used it, plus where you used it. And not counting degree and years of experience, if it's not those four things, what, how, non-technical why, and where, it does not count. So even though they had some of this stuff here, guess what? Doesn't show me where they did it, so thus it doesn't count. Technical skills, they did not show me how they did it, the non-technical reasons they did it, or where they did it, so this section does not count. And when you disregard that because you have to, because the manager doesn't want it, you will arrive to the fact that the only thing I found in your resume is Node.js and a little bit of AI. So this entire thing has one thing I'm looking for, which is Node. But there's no TypeScript, there's no JavaScript, there's no HTML, CSS, there's no RESTful APIs or REST APIs, there's no SQL, there's no cloud, there's no backend, there's no React, because again, you said React Flow. I'm not looking for React Flow, I'm looking for React. Or React.js, or Angular, or Node.js, or Vue. You did have Node, or Vue.js, or DevOps, or CI/CD, or Agile, or Git. So when you are submitting this resume, the problem is this entire thing is blank. The only thing you show is that you had you used Node.js. And that's it. And even then, this bullet point is not good, because what is cutting onboarding time by 87% and eliminating developer dependency entirely? That's too technical. You need the non-technical business reason, right? You could have just said to allow our developers to create code faster or something. But no, you said eliminating developer dependency. And before anybody gets mad at me, guess what? This person gets no interviews. So I am right about this. My methods work despite how insane they seem, because recruitment is weird and recruitment is a very non-indicative industry. I don't know if that's actually the right word. That one I might not be right. It's not indicative. It's not this is the word I'm trying to think of. Non-intuitive industry. What you think is obvious is probably, if you do the opposite, you'll have success, because nothing is obvious in recruitment. So this is the problem with this resume, is it has nothing in it. It's filled with 2 giant blank spaces, and the rest of the bullet points have absolutely nothing I can use. And your education is the bottom. Your education should be at the top. Also, why do I care that you have a diploma? I don't. You've already graduated with a bachelor's and you're in a master's. Your diploma is irrelevant. So that's all I can do for this resume, but they need to delete it and start again. And again, I've gotten people jobs in India before following my advice. Next resume. This is a resume of another full stack. Again, most common resume that's submitted to me. So we already know what we need up here, so I don't need to repeat it. This person has an unknown amount of applications, and they just said it's hopeless. No, it's not. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna suck. But it's not hopeless. Unless you are in the middle of nowhere and you can only travel 3 miles and you can't use any computer skills, then that's probably the only reason you're not going to be able to get one. Again, there is hope. It's just infinitesimally small. But I don't want to overhype it. It's still going to be tough. So, 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see how... Let's see if this is bad or good. Probably bad. Alright, and first thing is start. Where are you located? That is something you need to know. This does not help you and can be deleted. Okay, you said self-taught. So, developed REST APIs and lightweight Java interactions that kept the this is too technical. Built a Django and Python event platform. Again, slightly too technical. And time. So... first things first, self-taught devs, probably never going to get a 1 in 7, which is what I usually get people. It's still going to be tough, but it's still possible. What you're going to need to do, though, is delete this. Because you say 4+ years of building web platforms, I don't see that here. I need you to... these are projects, that's 0 level of experience. You need to have been paid for them to count as work experience. And if you were paid for those are not projects. Now, you're going to have problems as a self-taught dev, but it is possible. But the one thing I need is, if you notice, I need this. I need to know where you're located. And if you are, again, I don't need to know this, but you should really put this in to help your chances. But I need to know where you're located. Now, if somehow you're a self-taught dev that is... maybe you said that here. No. If you're a self-taught dev that is trying to get into the U.S. from outside the U.S., no. Then nothing I say is going to be able to help you. Although I will say specifically... oh, I see, over here. You should still have a LinkedIn. But write it right. Okay, so U.S. Okay, so that's going to follow the format. Now, on to the bullet points themselves. The problem I have, again, is... where is the JavaScript, the TypeScript, the HTML, CSS? Now, some jobs want TypeScript, some jobs want JavaScript, HTML, some jobs want both. Just put them all. It doesn't matter if one implies the other. I've also had people argue about that specifically in my comments. So, I need you to delete this and start again, because this the only thing I see here is JavaScript, RESTful... no, you said REST style APIs, not RESTful APIs. So that doesn't count. And Django and Python. And you need 75% of this to move forward. As a self-taught dev, you are probably going to need 85 to 90% of this to move forward. I am going to need you to show me that you've used TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I'm going to need to see RESTful API or REST API, not REST-like. You need to directly state it. I need SQL. I need cloud, especially cloud. If you can get cloud, oh boy, you've got a real big shot at getting it. Cloud is huge. And then you did have a little bit of backend with the Docker or Django, so that's fine. but I need React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, and Git. So if you notice, the problem I have here is this was so technically dense and it didn't follow my format that I was only able to get down to here, right? And even in this, the only things I see are JavaScript, Python, and Django. And you wrote these in a way that does not say the non-technical reasons why. So, in fact, are any of these bullet points salvageable? This one is fine. So okay, here's my problem with this is this one, you told me the non-technical reason. You didn't actually tell me the what. This one is missing a keyword. Like this one is missing the non-technical one. This one is missing the keywords right here. Stream management of legal optimization. I don't know what that is and why that matters. Python, SQL, REST, workflows. I don't care about this part, and the other part maybe, but you can just say to automate RESTful applications. No, okay. Build fast API powered headless CSM. The CSM could be used to get version control. Again, this is too technical. Developed API. I don't care about API. I care about RESTful API or REST API specifically. But I actually think the entire problem with this resume is you either wrote the correct keywords, but not a good non-technical reason, or you wrote a great non-technical reason, but no actual keywords. Because remember, you need both in a sentence to make a qualification. So I'm going to need you to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to need you to make it look like this, okay? This is not this. I'm going to need you to tell me where you are. And then if you're a green card holder, U.S. citizen, I would put that for sure. It will be beneficial. If you're applying out of state, put what you want to do is right under here, put moving to X by Y date, can move earlier if needed. Otherwise, they're going to reject you if you're out of state. But a big problem I have is there's just not enough. As a self-taught dev, you need 85% of what I need. Most people need 75% to move forward. You only show 30 to 40%. So I just need more. Especially if you've been working at other jobs, that would be okay. At least to show that you have years of experience. But right now, this looks like you just got out of high school with no work experience and nothing that we need, which is going to be a very bad thing. Like, if you've been working at McDonald's for the last 2 years, that would actually be fantastic to put on. You'd only put a single bullet point, but that would at least show that you've been in the working world so that you're not going to freak out when they tell you what to do. So is this impossible to get a job as a self-taught dev? No, but it is going to be a very, very, very tough uphill climb. Next resume. This is a resume of a business analyst. So what do we need for a business analyst? We need SQL, industry. Your industry is going to matter. There's going to be so many different industries, but I need to see at least you've done a little bit of it. Microsoft 365, PowerPoint, Outlook, Excel, Advanced Excel, Word, Jira, SAP, requirements gathering and documentation, influencing cross-functional people from IC to stakeholders, and proactively solving business problems, explaining complex topics to non-technical people, meet multiple deadlines concurrently, Agile, Scrum, Waterfall, and some common industry tools, which again are going to determine which industry you're in, which is Python, Tableau, AI, Power BI, and Cloud. So 20 seconds on the clock, and this person does not get interviews, so let's see. And this is their newer one, though. And go. Use SQL, Excel. Okay, good. Power BI dashboards, create performance reports, enable trends and patterns, enable models. Why do I need the patterns? Used MS Office to document requirements. What is that? And created diagrams within Visio. The second part is good. Led multiple sprints throughout the CSCL with internal clients to bridge the technical gap between those stakeholders, ensuring what developments were building and client expectations were aligned. And time. Okay, I want us to shrink this because this is still a little wordy. So used Excel. I would not put Power Query. I would just put pivot tables and VLOOKUP. And Power BI dashboards, create performance reports. So the problem is identifying trends and patterns in AI response is not a non-technical reason. I need to know the point of it. what I'm looking for is why did you identify trends and patterns in AI model responses? What was the point of that? And I don't know. Used MS Office. I mean, we kind of already have that up here with this too. To document requirements, BRD. Is BRD needed? Maybe that's industry. And created ULM whatever diagrams within Visio. Again, this seems like something that we don't really need to understand client business process instead of potential aids. This is fine, but like what business processes? Like what part of them were flawed? Was it sales? I don't know. You didn't really tell me. Led multiple sprints throughout the SDLC within an agile setting with internal clients to bridge the technical gap, ensuring what developers are building. This one's fine. I like this. If anything, this could be your first bullet point. I like this one. This one's good. I like this. So, served as the subject matter expert on 3 cross-functional projects, deadlines. Well, the problem this is, these are the same, right? Both of these are the same. Both of them are good, but both of those show that you are bridging the gap, which is the equivalent of complex technical requirements into actionable tasks. So I'm going to need you to keep one of these, but not both of these. And then again, if we're having this using Azure, don't say DevOps, put Azure, comma, DevOps. Conducted UART to identify weekly Scrum. I mean, that one's okay, but like, I would like Jira or SAP. I actually don't see requirements gathering, which I really would like. Yeah, I would like... I mean, maybe these are... No, I need requirements gathering, and I need to see that you've influenced somebody. So formatting-wise, this is mostly correct. The only thing is, again, there's something I was wrong about on my format, and I'm sorry for this. This needs to just say work history. If you have projects, they go in another section. So like this, projects, they'll go down here. But work history is just work history, and that includes internships. But I'm still missing stuff. Like my problem with this is your first sentence is mid. Your second sentence has almost nothing. Your third and fourth sentences, while good, are the same sentence almost. And you don't need both of them. And then the third one is, again, okay. But I don't have... I don't have the fact that you influence people. I don't have the thing that you did requirements gathering and documentation. I do have complex topics and meet deadlines. But influencing these stakeholders is important. I need to see that you are able to influence them. And that is part of the problem. So I'm going to need you to make those fixes, and then we should start seeing more success as long as you are applying within the first 100 people. Next resume. This is a full stack software developer. Again, most common resume I get. We already know what we need. This person just started applying. They were laid off last Friday, which really sucks. So we don't know how good or bad this resume is. All we do know is that, well, it's a full stack dev. And yeah, let's find out. 20 seconds on the clock. All right, and go. Okay, degree, good. Oh, expected. Okay, optimize legacy code on a project using Node.js and Vue, reducing technical scalability. This is not a good reason. Built QA and testing frameworks based on their standard for a Python project by messing with workflows, proving deficit traceability. Administered AWS Cloud Resources for TypeScript and time. This is really, really, really technically deep. These are not good. Also, you were there for 2 years. We do not need 6 bullet points. You can probably do that in 4 or 5. And if anybody hears any weird sounds in the background, it's my dog. He is chewing on his toy very loudly. So, go ahead, Bear. You can keep doing it. You don't need to look at me, buddy. I love you. So, yeah. Also, I'd really like some of the stuff that was in this bullet point to be here. Like, you can just say... How would I phrase this? Created or optimized legacy code using TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, Node.js in an AWS environment to do whatever it is you do, because this is still technical. Like, technical debt and improving system maintainability, scalability, and developer efficiency is nothing. Like, I need you to think about it. Like, I know you have a parent, a grandparent, a sister, a husband or wife or whoever it is. You have somebody in your life who, if you said, oh yeah, I'm reducing technical debt to improve system maintainability, scalability, and developer efficiency, if you said that to them, they would be like, what? And I need you to make sure you write this resume for them. Because this is too technical. Same with defect traceability and establishing. I need to know the non-technical reasons you did it. Right? Like, what was the entire point of the project? Because they don't care that you optimize code. Was it to... In fact, I don't even know if can I find this? Improving system reliability, deployments... I don't even know what you did. Did you build a web page? I don't know. You didn't tell me. This is too technical, and you need to make it non-technical. Like, this part obviously needs to be technical, but this is not a good way to describe it. This is not a good way to describe it. This is not a good way to describe it. You tell me the what, you tell me the how, you tell me the where, you do not tell me the why. Like, why? Here's the thing. Why was it important to reduce system storage usage? What was the point of that? What was the point of you doing that? Why did you improve system stability? What is the point of that? I don't know. Why do you do data reliability? I don't know. You don't tell me. You're still too technical. The business-wise are the non-technical part. Obviously, you need the other stuff. But if you don't put the non-technical reason, the hiring manager is going to decline you because they don't care, right? They don't care. I know people think, oh, if you just get your resume to the technical person. No. You know who's more likely to reject your resume than a recruiter? A technical manager. They are the worst at it. They reject so many people through resumes for such a very picky reason. That's why I tell you all to do this, is I do stuff that gets past both the recruiter and the hiring manager. So I'm going to need you to go back to the bullet point. I'm going to need you to make this 4 bullet points, maybe 5, and I want you to combine your first and your third one. And remember, no more than 6 keywords. And then make these understandable to a layman, okay? They cannot have these random percentages or quality processes or storage usage or integrations, because they mean nothing. So that's all I can do for this resume. Just want to thank you all for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and to my members who get access to videos just a little bit early, thank you very much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. If anybody wants to be a member, they can join in the link below. And if anybody needs more help, I review all my resumes on the live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on both here, YouTube, and twitch.tv/@headlessheadhunter. But that is it for this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Later.